Hey there, MMA and bare knuckle fight fans. We've got Helen Peralta in the house today. How are you today, Helen?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm great, and thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us. You know, BKFC 7 is just around the corner. You're fighting Christine Ferea. We have some video of you training. Looks like you've been working really hard.
Yeah, I like to work hard. Fighting is not something you want to be bad at. So I was definitely working on my defense, a little bit more on my defense now that it's bare knuckle boxing. You cannot afford to get hit. Literally, the hands are lava, as saying me and my coach have. So yeah, we're working a lot on defense, a lot on footwork, a lot on being fit. You know, bare knuckle is more like a sprint. MMA is more like a marathon because you have 5 minutes to work. Now we only have 2 minutes to work, and should the fight go to decision, we want to make sure we're always on top of the game. I doubt it will go to decision, but you know, you got to be prepared for every outcome.
It's a good strategy. Ferea is a tough fighter. What specific challenges does Ferea present to you?
For me, the biggest challenge she presents is her coach, not herself. I'm tough too. It's not going to come down to conditioning. If she can do 300 rounds, it doesn't matter because we're only fighting for 5 rounds. So all of that becomes, you know, irrelevant at this point. It's not about being strong because I'm also really, really strong. I'm also really, really fast. If anything, I might be faster than her because I'm smaller. So the only challenge she presents to me is the mind of her coach. That's the mind I really have to beat. Christine Ferea, background noise.
Okay, good for you. Many fans may know you from Invicta. What attracted you to bare knuckle?
The first time I considered it was just because I was very upset because I had 3 fights fall through and I was in a full training camp. I spent a lot of money. I was very uncomfortable sleeping from couch to couch, trying to get work in Orlando, but I don't live there. Didn't want to get a job because then the job would take too much of my time. And the whole point of going to Orlando was to train. So I was frustrated with the events falling through. If you don't fight, you don't get paid. So I remember talking to Christine about getting a bare knuckle fight to see if she can get me in because she was already in. And we talked a little bit back and forth. And at the beginning, I was just doing it for the money. That was the only reason what I was doing. I found myself in a desperate situation, and I wanted to just get in there and win or lose. Now it's different. Now I'm doing it because during that time when I started considering it, I started doing research, and I fell in love with the sport as I research and I look into it and I watch a lot of fights. And now I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I can't wait to do it myself.
Well, you don't have to convince me about that because I think I started covering bare knuckle. Oh gosh, I think Beck was the first female I interviewed, and I don't know. You know, there's something about the sport that just appeals to me. It's just such raw emotion, and it's fighter against fighter. And as my fans know, I'm completely obsessed. So I can't get enough of bare knuckle. And by the way, we'll be there in Biloxi to do another interview with Helen and bring you all the fights from Biloxi BKFC 7. Helen, how did you get into MMA, or how did you get into fighting at all?
It wasn't that long ago. It was about 3.5 years. I had some friends over, and somebody was talking about the Rousey versus Holm fight and how she got knocked out. I had no clue what they were talking about. They couldn't believe I didn't know who Randa was because she was such a big deal at the time. I was in another, my mind was somewhere else. So I was doing a lot of drinking and I had a few bites. I mean, I was making good money and everything was going great, but there was something missing. So as I told them I didn't know who Randa was, somebody showed me a video of the fight, and I started having opinions about what I thought the fighters should be doing. And somebody brought up the fact that it was easy for me to have an opinion while I was sitting on the outside. So I remember saying in my drunken stupor that I could train and beat both of them. And then it was just a joke. And, you know, the next day I woke up with a headache and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go drink a beer to fix my headache because that's what I used to do. And I was about to do that. I remember saying I was going to be champion and laughing. And I remember my friends not believing for a second that I could do it. And it was just mostly, I just wanted to prove them wrong. I can do whatever I want. It's always been like that. Anything that I decide that I want to do, I always get it done, always, without failure, always. So I'm like, all right, this will be a good thing for me because I can also stop drinking. I was drinking a lot of alcohol, a lot. And I was smoking a lot of cigarettes. I wouldn't even pour the alcohol in a glass. I would drink it straight from the bottle, whether it was whiskey or wine. I just wanted to, like, I don't know, just numb the pain of being alive. I don't know. It was a very weird time in my life, but then once I found MMA, everything started getting better for me. I started getting really, really mentally fit, which is a lot more important than physically fit for life, of course.
It's not that surprising to me that you're mentioning that. Excuse me for interrupting, because I've interviewed Jared Gordon, who is a UFC fighter who was actually addicted to heroin, I believe. I'll have to check it out, and has made a platform about helping people. So MMA is fighting overall. MMA, but combat sports, I think it's a bad name because people think it's the rough and tough, but it saves so many people from destruction. It's such an honor to be able to interview the fighters, and I can't tell you what a platform it is to be able to show younger women, younger men that they do have an outlet and they do have an opportunity to turn their life around. And as you said, become mentally fit. So I applaud you for that. That's so cool, girl.
Thank you.
What can fans expect to see when they tune in then?
I am not sure.
Okay.
It's definitely going to be entertaining, I'll tell you that, but I'm not 100% sure as to how it's going to go. One thing I learned in life is that life is what happens to your plan. So the plan is to win the fight, but I don't have any specific way in which I want to do it. I am in no rush, so if it goes to decision, it goes to decision. If I see the opening to come in and get her out of there as soon as possible, I would. I am missing some of the experience of what it feels like to be hit bare knuckle by a professional. I've been hit bare knuckle many times, and I didn't feel any difference. I didn't even feel the pain. I could see the scar tissue and the bruising and the pain later on, but not on the spot. I don't know if it will be different to get hit by someone who does it professionally. So I don't know exactly what they should expect. But from me, they can expect I never give up. I never back down. I keep moving forward. And that's for sure is going to happen. The results, I'm not sure what the result's going to be. I'm not going there to win. I'm going there to fight. I'm going there to fight. So she better be ready to fucking fight.
So I want our viewers to get to know our fighters as people as well. You were a chef before. How did you make the transition from cooking to fighting?
It wasn't that hard actually. When you, especially if you're a chef as young as I was, there's a lot of mental game that you have to play. You know, a lot of people in the kitchen is usually run with people that work for you and not necessarily people who went to school for it or anything like that. So you have to know how to deal with it. You have to deal with their personalities, with their, you know, whether or not they'll show up. Working in the kitchen is tough. You have to be up early. You have to work hard. And if you are the chef, it's a 24/7 job. And not only are you working physically to get the job done, you're also working as a psychologist to get your team to get what they're supposed to be doing and the timeline that they're supposed to be doing it.
Wow. What were some of your favorite dishes that you made?
Oh, that's a hard one. I pretty much, I love food, man. It's really hard for me to pick something specific. Well, I was mainly a pastry chef for about 4 years, so I really like that aspect. Yeah, I gained about 15, 20 pounds when I was doing that. And then I moved into the savory kitchen, and there my favorite things to make is usually meat. I love meat. I love playing with vegetables and making things look pretty, but I usually do that just for presentation purposes and for other people to wow the public. But for me, it's just straight up simplicity is best when it comes to my eating.
Before we go today, Helen, is there anything else you want to add?
I would like to thank my sponsors, Integrity Fitness, Ultimate Isogenic, Ground Zero MMA, Smoking Hot, Plate Lounge, Grace Place, and Elite Boxing Academy for being there for me and supporting me. I want to thank the fans for following my career and giving me this platform, because I know I don't necessarily have the credentials to be in a show this big. It's mostly happening because people want to see me. I also want to thank the haters. I know I have 5,000 friends, but out of that, most of it is surveillance. But I appreciate it too, because it doesn't matter what your reasons are for watching, as long as you tune in, I'm happy.
Well, Helen, thank you so much for your interview. I wish you good luck. And Fight Fans, you can check BKFC 7 Saturday, August 10th. That event is going down at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum, and you can get tickets at bareknuckletv.com. Helen, good luck.
Thank you.
Young ones,